Always that dog.
All right. We'll now call the City Council regular meeting to order for July 28th, 6 p.m. Please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. The invocation will be given by Pastor Thomas Finneran. We can please have him come up to the microphone.
Good evening. I'm Pastor Tom Finneran, and I'm Pantry, the church 104 Railroad Ave here in Avon Park. Thank you for this an opportunity for prayer. Sorry about that. Okay, covering the receiver. I think that might have been God. Sorry. Hey, Brenda. I'm not covering the receiver, I promise. So I'm speak really loud. Okay. Members and community. Yeah. Yeah, see? All right.
I'm right
Thank
there.
you. That no, okay, there. Get up. Okay, let me know if it's cutting out again. Let us pray, please. God, we come today and ask your blessing on our mayor, city councilors, staff, that they would be able to govern and lead as you would have it according to your way, truth, and life, as your perfect will demands. That the city would be more blessed as you make a way where there would otherwise be no way. That they represent a diverse population, but their assignment is one to bring unity through a spirit of cooperation and collaboration with each other and for the community at large. So God, we pray that you will use them and guide them through everything that needs to be done today and each day after. That this will become a great city, a safe city, and a blessed city, because they put you first in the name of Jesus. We thank you, Lord, for what you have called them to do, because we realize that the constituents elected them, but it was you, Father God, 1,000 years ago that selected them. Out of all the people you could have chosen, you picked each one of these individually for a specific purpose. And if they are ambassadors of Christ, then we will know them by the fruit of the Spirit that each would exemplify with every word and action and reaction with each other and the community as they ask, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus say? In Galatians 5:22-26, it states, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith. Meekness, temperance, against such there is no law. And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another. Thank you, Lord, for these city council members. We know this is more than a job. It's an assignment, a calling, a ministry from you. So we pray your blessings on this session and everyone here, that we all might come together as one body of Christ to decide how to move the city in the direction as you would have it go. In God we trust. In closing, I'm remembering from the Bible when a disciple asked Jesus, how should we pray to God? And Jesus responded with the Our Father, saying, this is how you should pray. In Matthew 6:9-13, as we all pray together, if we could, please. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those that have sinned against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. In Jesus' name we pray, who died for you and me, and who shed his blood to wash away our sins. He was buried, and on the third day he rose again, according to the scriptures, and sits on the right hand of the Father. Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you.
May be seated. Thank you, Pastor. When she gets back, she can call the roll.
Yes, sir. Councilmember McGuire? Here. Councilmember Mercure? Here. Councilmember Taylor? Here. Deputy Mayor Bernard?
Here.
Mayor Anderson?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right. Anything for number 4?
No, thank you.
Okay. Item number 5, we have the employee longevity recognition. Ms. Koger.
Yes, tonight we'd like to recognize Jared Watson. He's here with us. He's a Public Works Operations Manager, has been with us a year now. So thank you for your service.
Jared. Well done, sir. Appreciate the red. All right, item number 6, we have the Water Industry Professionals Proclamation.
Whereas industry professionals in Florida dedicate themselves to the production and distribution of safe drinking water, as well as the proper collection, treatment, reuse, and disposal of wastewater and stormwater. And whereas the professionals employed in this industry commit themselves to protecting the health of Florida's citizens and our state's natural resources. And whereas Florida continues to take bold steps and lead the nation in water quality protection and conservation of our waterways and natural resources. And whereas Senate Bill 712, the Clean Waterways Act, passed with bipartisan support protecting water quality and minimizing nutrient pollution. And whereas Section 403.865 of the Florida statutes designates water professionals as essential first responders. And whereas Florida will continue to fight to protect and conserve our waterways and natural resources for our children and our future generations. And whereas it is fitting that the state of Florida recognizes all those who have played a significant part in operating and maintaining drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater systems in Florida by celebrating Florida Water Professionals Month, which applauds their constant efforts to protect our health and environment. And now, therefore, I, Mayor.
Now, therefore, I, Mayor Garrett Anderson, by virtue of the authority vested in me of the City of Avon Park, do hereby proclaim the month of August 2025 as Florida Water Professionals Month. Thank you very much. All right. Item number 7 through 12, we have the consent agenda. Is there any of those items council members wish to remove? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve C6, consent agenda 7 through 12.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to put kudos to the administration for the work on C9, which is the quarterly reports. I really appreciate that. So everybody can see, what you do daily.
Very good.
Bad.
Great.
All right. Anything else? Seeing none, we'll call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire?
Yes.
Councilmember Mercure?
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item number 13 will be a public hearing for ordinance 09-2025.
An ordinance of the City of Avon Park amending the future land use map of the City of Avon Park, Florida, specifically amending one parcel of land comprising of plus or minus 0.34 acres on property located at 901 West Prairie Street, Avon Park, from a future land use of low-density residential to medium-density residential. Transmitting said amendment to the Florida Commerce for notification purposes only, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, so as I said before, this will be a public hearing for ordinance number 09-2025. That public hearing will be open. Anyone wishing to speak on this can now do so. Seeing no speakers, public hearing for ordinance 09-2025 is now closed. Is there any questions from the council?
No, sir.
Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve D13 ordinance 09-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire,
Yes.
Councilmember Mercury,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson,
Yes.
motion passes.
Item number 14 will be a public hearing for ordinance 10-2025.
An ordinance of the city of Avon Park, amending the official zoning map of the city of Avon Park, Florida, specifically amending one parcel of land comprising of plus or minus 0.34 acres on property located at 901 West Prairie Street, Avon Park, from a zoning of R1 low density residential to R2 medium density, single family attached and duplex, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing effective date.
Public hearing for ordinance 10-2025 is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue can now do so. Seeing no speakers, public hearing for ordinance 10-2025 is now closed. Is there any questions from the council? Seeing none, do we have a motion for ordinance 10-2025?
So move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second Jim's motion.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire,
Yes.
Councilmember Mercury,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson,
Yes.
motion passes.
Item number 15 will be a public hearing for ordinance 11-2025.
An ordinance of the city of Avon Park, amending the future land use map of the city of Avon Park, Florida, specifically amending one parcel of land comprising of plus or minus 9.28 acres on property located at 1150 Helmut Gray Boulevard, Avon Park, from future land use of Hillsborough County High Density Residential to City Highway Commercial, transmitting said amendment to the Board of Commerce for notification purposes only, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Public hearing for ordinance 11-2025 is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue can now do so. Once again, not seeing a flood of speakers. The public hearing for ordinance 11-2025 is now closed. Do we have any questions? Seeing none, entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 11-2025.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire,
Yes.
Councilmember Mercury,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson,
Yes.
motion passes.
Item number 16 to be a public hearing for ordinance 12-2025.
An ordinance of the city of Avon Park, amending the official zoning map of the city of Avon Park, Florida, specifically amending one parcel of land comprising plus or minus 9.28 acres on property located at 1150 Helmut Gray Boulevard, Avon Park, from the zoning of Highlands County R3 to City C2, general commercial, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Yes.
All right, public hearing for ordinance number 16-2025 is now open.
12-2025.
Well, item number 16.
There we go. Public hearing for ordinance number 12-2025 is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on the zoning change can now do so. Seeing no speakers, public hearing for ordinance 12-2025 is now closed. Be looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 12-2025, please.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire,
Yes.
Councilmember Mercury,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson,
Yes.
motion passes.
Next, we'll have a public hearing for ordinance number 16-2025.
An ordinance of the city of Avon Park, amending the future land use map of the city of Avon Park, Florida, specifically amending one parcel of land comprising of plus or minus 1.24 acres on property located at 5372 Lake Denton Road, Avon Park, from a future land use of Highlands County medium density residential to city medium density residential, transmitting said amendment to Florida Commerce for notification purposes only, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for effective date.
Public hearing for ordinance number 16-2025 is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue can now do so. Seeing no speakers, public hearing for ordinance 16-2025 is now closed. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 16-2025, please.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call a roll.
Councilmember McGuire,
Yes.
Councilmember Mercure,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item number 18 will be a public hearing for ordinance number 17-2025.
Ordinance of the City of Avon Park amending the official zoning map of the City of Avon Park, Florida, specifically amending one parcel of land comprising one plus or minus 1.24 acres on property located at 5372 Lake Denton Road, Avon Park, from a zoning of Highlands County R1A, low density residential, to city R3, high density multifamily residential, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for effective date.
Public hearing for ordinance 17-2025 is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue can now do so. Once again, seeing no speakers. Public hearing for ordinance 17-2025 is now closed. We'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 17-2025, please.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Can I confirm who the second was?
I was.
Thank you.
Any questions? Seeing none, please call a roll.
Councilmember McGuire,
Yes.
Councilmember Mercure,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Stephanie got off easy tonight. Item number 19, you have the proposed fire assessment rate. Chief Marcy.
Yes, so this is what we talked about last meeting, the preliminary rate. I believe you guys said 170. This paper was drafted at 185. I didn't send it back to have a new one drafted, but you can pick any number you want. That's what it'll be noticed at.
All right.
Attorney Chris Rose has reviewed this.
Yes, this came from Chris Rowe.
Thank you.
Okay, so we had discussed a rate of 170 before. This one's written at 185. What would the council like to do?
So we're sure that, I'm not trying to doubt anybody, but I thought we had settled on 185. No?
Well, this is the preliminary rate. This is what you set it at the highest. You're gonna, in two more meetings, you're gonna pick the final number. You
Right.
can always go down. So you can pick 185 now, and at the next meeting, you can set it at anything lower than that.
This is still basically a second for the $10
Correct. Yeah.
All right. In that case, I'll make a motion.
Yeah, there's a resolution that has to be passed for this. So the resolution of the City of Avon Park, Florida, relating to provision of fire rescue services, facilities, and programs and the funding thereof through annual special assessments, establishing the proposed assessment rates for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2025, directing preparation of assessment roll and for such fiscal year, authorizing a public hearing and directing the provision of notice thereof, and providing an effective date. That's right. This was what's in the package, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
We're looking for a motion to approve resolution number 2025-12.
So move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second it, that's fine, but I was looking back at the minutes and it does say 185. You made the motion of 185, seconded by Mr. Bernard.
Well, then it's correct as written.
Yes, it's correct, Fred, yes.
So you still wish to second it?
At 185, yes.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire,
Yes.
Councilmember Mercure,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next up, we have item number 20. It's be the Gilchrist Law Firm Contract Amendment. Ms.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes, thank you. On July 23rd, I received the attached correspondence requesting an amendment to the contract for an additional $20,000 to finish phase 2, which is data collection and evidence gathering. And it also requests an additional 30 days to the scope.
Okay.
Attorney Gilchrist is on the Zoom call if you have specific questions for him.
Dr. Kelly, I have one question. I'd like to know, has Gilchrist been delivering their weekly updates as promised?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Or any comments from Mr. Gilchrist?
Yes, understanding the nature of this investigation, respectable council members, I would not have requested this if I didn't need it. Understanding everyone knows my background in this kind of stuff. That being said, we understand these are taxpayer dollars that are used in this, but be there no mistake, after my investigation, there will be no more talks of rumblings of things because, as I mentioned in my request, we've opened the floor. We've looked at all documents on this stuff. We've made every request you can think of, including the county records requests from y'all's offices. And so this will be probably the most thorough investigation. I should also note, as I mentioned in my request, I'm asking for a special session with y'all. I want my findings to be just with you all, not 50 million other things because of how thorough my investigation is. And so for those reasons, I'm asking for the additional funding as well as additional time to put together the findings and a special session with you all to deliver my findings. Thank you.
I have a couple comments and a question.
Of course, sir.
First of all, for the fellow council members that approved the current rate and they decided not to approve the rate that was 180 something previously because they said it was too high. With this $20,000 increase, we're now going to go into the 180 something, and that's only going into phase 2. We don't know what's going to happen with phase 3, 4, or 5. And so my question to my council members, as well as Mr. Gilchrist, is your comment about how experienced and knowledgeable you are. Why didn't you do your due diligence initially to come up with a fair quote in the first place? Because 20,000 is like a 30% increase. So it makes me kind of wonder if you're such a great expert at this, then I'm not trying to question that. What I am questioning is how come you did not come up with an accurate amount for the first time where you're only going into phase 2 and you're asking for a 30% increase? What about 3, 4, and 5? I really have questions about our council members that want this. We're back in the 180 something. Are we going to end up at 100,000 plus? Do you still want to move forward? And if you don't, I have a way to go about that. And I have one more question after you answer that, please.
If I may, thank you, council member. Thank you for your comment. I'd like to address 3 points. The first point is my request for $20,000, respectful to Dr. Kelly, but it's for all the remainder of the investigation, including my findings. So it's not just for phase 2. I want that to be very clear to the members. I'm only asking for an additional $20,000 to get through all of the investigation. That would thus mean that the budget for the revised contract will be $84,000, not $100,000. The third piece is, as you've probably seen in, if you recall, reviewing our proposal, my office, specifically me, with regards to investigations at all levels, this is what we do. What was not forecasted was that there was 4,000 records that I was landed on my desk on day 1. And then there were just a whole bunch of other documents that we had to go through. That being said, to give every party, including some of the individuals that we're listening to today, their process in this. Every record needs to be meticulously looked at. All findings need to be thoroughly investigated to give formal recommendations as to what should happen and how it should happen. So again, the request for the amendment to the contract will be $84,000, not $64,000, which was initially the contract amount. And there's nothing else that I anticipate ever needing to come back to you guys to get us through my entire findings, including recommendations. Thank you, sir. Over.
All right, I have one other question then. When you get down to number 5, your recommendations and advisory, where are you going to send that information to?
Thank you, sir, for your comment. My plan is to formally send that through our appointing investigating officer, which is Dr. Kelly. We can send it to her prior to my special set hearing request or a special set request with you guys. But the bottom line is, because she appointed us, we would send them directly to her. She can do a read ahead to you guys beforehand, but I'm requesting in the same request that there be one session to discuss my findings and recommendations to all of you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, for members of the council, I don't know whether you're aware of or not, but there is in Tallahassee, it's called the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And that group turns around and they do investigation work, especially when it comes to any issues with city and proprietary. So they could do all this for us at no charge and come up with not only an opinion, but they also could maybe take action. So my suggestion to my fellow council members, if you really want to get something done right and properly and get to the end where we're going to not only get a recommendation to Ms. Danielle, Dr. Danielle, that we need to be able to go ahead and move forward to what would be the far ending solution where you want to end this up. So my suggestion is instead of requesting 20,000, that we take the information we got, which we received tons of information from members of the citizens of Avon Park, from all the different social media groups, those that put the packet together and pictures that basically gave all the information to the members of the council to show reasons why they wanted to move forward with this investigation. Why don't we just take all that information and send it up to Tallahassee, to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and let them take care of it? Because that's where, if anything's going to be done, they'll be the ones who'll take care of it anyways. Thank you.
May I be able to respond to that, sir, respectfully?
Absolutely.
Again, members, I'm simply a servant for you all. So I would just remind you, as you probably read in my proposal, I've done a lot of work with that department and a bunch of others. The jurisdiction of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is solely for broad investigative authority for major crimes and public safety issues. I should note in my preliminary findings, which I would not like to get too much into at this point, there are a whole host of other things that are not major crimes and public safety issues that are, as addressed by the public in Avon Park, they have submitted for us to review, and you guys have submitted for us to review. So the jurisdiction that's only limited to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is just that piece. The work that we're doing and the recommendations I'm going to have at this is a lot more than that. Thank you, sir. That's all I have. Over.
So you're not looking into anything that would result, in your opinion, called corruption?
Sir, it's broad. It's including that, though, and I don't want to get too much in the findings, sir, but even civil issues are outside of the scope and the jurisdiction of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. That's one of the main issues that I think that the fellow council members should think about. Over.
Thank you for your opinion, and I'll leave it up to the rest of the members of the council that want to move. Do you want to move forward with the 80-some thousand like you rejected the first time? I'll leave it up to you.
I have questions for Mr. Gilchrist.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gilchrist, am I to understand that when you do hold this special session with us, you're going to be presenting us with some type of PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, ma'am. It's the only way to thoroughly and organize all of the data and the recommendations, and to allow each council member to ask questions about my findings and my recommendations, which again are well outside the scope of just looking at corruption and major crimes. There's a whole bunch of other things in there too. But yes, ma'am.
And my other question, Mr. Gilchrist, is it fair to say the extra $20,000, once you started receiving evidence, it was so overwhelming that it started to take your firm into directions or different directions that you didn't expect to go?
Yes, ma'am. And any firm that would have gotten this, it would take you in a lot of different directions that you need to properly review, assess, and make recommendations for. But yes, ma'am, 100%.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, my thoughts on it are we've come this far. We're 3/4 of the way done. I don't want to say, nope, we're done. We'll just take what you got. There could be very important information after that. So, I'll make the motion to approve the extra 20,000 for the investigation. And I also, welcome the extra 30 days in that.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second it.
You have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Do I understand that it's the extra time will be now October 6th instead of September 8th, right?
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
Mr. Gilchrist, has a date been set for that special session?
That is the special
That
session
is the
date.
special session?
Yes, ma'am, October 6th.
Anything else? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire,
I'll abstain due to the investigation has to do with a family member.
Councilmember Mercure,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard,
On the advice of our city attorney, my answer is no.
Mayor Anderson,
I'll abstain as the investigation pertains to myself.
motion passed.
The city attorney advised you to say no?
On the original suggestion of doing this investigation, his.
Today. Did you
I'm
go-
gonna ask, oh, I need,
Not talked to the city attorney about this since the first meeting.
Okay,
I just mentioned that the FDLE at that previous meeting when they were, when they.
okay.
they
I
decided
just wanted to
forward.
clarify that for my own
We have
benefit.
not talked about it.
Okay.
I haven't talked to anybody about it.
All right. You have the vote recorded, correct?
Yes, sir. I have
Okay.
that 2-1 vote in favor.
Okay. All right. It's been a request to move item number 21 after item number 22. So we'll do item number 22 for the property schedule audit. Ms. Coger.
So council was advised earlier this year that every 5 years, a property appraisal is done on city-owned property and the insurance coverage is adjusted to reflect the appraised value. The 2025 property appraisal resulted in a total increase to property value of $10,393,540. And the total increase to property contents of $73,410. This increase is the result of the overall property appraised value increasing as well as including previously omitted property. It should also be noted that the property that should not have been on the appraisal was also removed from the valuation, and council has been provided in the packet with the detailed breakdown of that. We also have with us tonight Matt Baker from Thompson Baker, our insurance broker on our property and liability. So if you have any questions, he'll be happy to answer those.
Do we have any questions for him?
My only question is, so all of the properties increased in value. Is there no depreciation values or anything like that? Or does that not come into play with something like this?
We did not take into account any depreciation because when you do a property appraisal, what's being appraised is if something took out that structure, what it would
Right,
cost
replacement
today
value.
to replace it. So. Mhm.
Any other questions? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the property schedule audit.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Last call for questions.
This is only property. Yes. Auto and inland marine, which is your equipment and stuff, that's completely separate from this. This is solely property and property contents being, if you turn the building upside down and shook it, whatever fell out. Mhm.
As far as we know.
As far as we know, exactly.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, we'll call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire,
Yes.
Councilmember Mercure, Councilmember Taylor,
yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, item number 21. We have the Main Street presentation. Miss Benham. Just give your name and organization there in the microphone.
Jane Benham, 605 South Euclid Street, Sebring, Florida. So I'm just trying to get my stuff situated here.
Take your time. Aren't we all?
So I do want to thank you all for allowing me to be placed on the agenda to bring this to your attention. It has been a 1.5 year long project. And I just want to show you all, but what Main Street could be. Okay, so Avon Park Main Street. Seems like the big question a lot of people want to know is what is Main Street? So Florida Main Street is a technical assistance program with the goal of revitalizing a historic downtowns and encouraging economic development within the context of historic preservation. Since 1985, Florida Main Street has offered technical assistance to Main Street programs across the state. The program is a part of a network of over 40 nationally recognized programs throughout the country. Florida Main Street is administered by the Division of Historical Resources under the Florida Department of State. The program is affiliated with the National Main Street Center and utilizes the National Main Street Center's 4-point approach, which offers a framework for community-based revitalization initiatives. We actually had a active Main Street from 1989 to 2009. Although there's not that much information, Florida Main Street did send me some of the information that they had on file. Yes, they have went into new databases, but in the folders, I did attach some of the things, but also I did add a piece of one of the letters. And basically, Avon Park Main Street program was previously operated under the Community Redevelopment Agency. Unfortunately, the program fell out of compliance due to several ongoing issues. Specifically, it failed to submit required quarterly reports for over 2 years and did not participate in mandatory trainings and conferences for more than 4 years. These lapses ultimately jeopardized the program's standing and effectiveness within the Main Street framework. So why does Main Street matter? In the past, the word downtown brought to mind an image of a bustling center of commerce and activity. Too often today, the images are of vacant, deteriorating buildings. In Florida, communities like DeLand, St. Petersburg, and Ocala have discovered that with the help of Florida Main Street, downtowns can thrive again. Florida Main Street encourages economic development and is dedicated to bringing jobs, dollars, and people back to Florida's historic districts. So why should we support Main Street? 1, it creates jobs. A revitalized district attracts new industry and strengthens service and retail job markets. 2, it does save tax dollars. Revitalization stabilizes and improves the area's tax base while also protecting existing investments. Historic preservation is an economically healthy downtown. Property owners can afford to maintain their historic buildings and preserve an important part of the community's heritage. And 4, builds community pride. Main Street provides a public space for members from all areas of the community to come together, create new partnerships, and create and celebrate their downtown. So what makes Main Street special is their 4-point approach. So their first approach is economic vitality. It focuses on capital, incentives, and other economic and financial tools to assist new and existing businesses, catalyze property development, and create a supportive environment for entrepreneurs and innovators to drive the local economies. Design supports a community's transformation by enhancing the physical and visual assets that set the commercial district apart. Organization involves creating a strong foundation for a sustainable revitalization effort, including cultivating partnerships, community involvement, and resources for the district. And promotion positions the downtown or commercial district as the center of the community and hub of economic activity, while creating a positive image that showcases the community's unique characteristics. So there's like a lot of jargon, a lot of terminology. So I broke it down, which is, I think would help. So design, we're creating and inspiring a place where people would love to walk, shop, and gather. In economic vitality, we support the local businesses so they thrive downtown. Promotion, we bring people downtown through events and storytelling. And then organization, we build strong partnerships to make it all possible. So let's visit some of the Florida Main Streets. This is usually the projects and programs that Main Streets handle. This doesn't necessarily mean that this would be what this Main Street would focus on, but I just wanted to give some examples. So murals. Now this is where your CRA or the city, everyone comes together to decide how do you want to brand Avon Park. So a lot of these are Plant City, Bartow. Murals are a really big part, whether you want to be artsy, you want to go a historic feeling, that is completely up to the city. And you can do all different types of murals. You can do interactive ones, like the one in the middle that's in front of a restaurant called Zest. And that's why they included all the oranges and lemons and stuff like that. Next slide would be the pole banners. Again, this is usually a program that they do manage, and it could be informational banners. You can do more artsy banners. A lot of them have a hometown hero banner program where you can honor veterans and the family, or you could highlight events like there's a farmer's market on one of those banners, which I know Avon Park has one right now. So that would be a great advertising opportunity. Events. A lot of the events that a lot of people go to don't even realize they're probably Main Street events. They just look like city events because the names are usually in the, you have Wauchula, Okeechobee, Bartow, all those have Main Street programs. So Sci-Fi Bartow on the bottom right, I believe, is the Fort Pierce Farmers Market. I think the top left is like Ocala. They handle their Christmas event. So that is something that they bring to the city because a lot of the CRAs can't have events and cities usually don't take on the liability. They do help with beautification. So everything Main Street does is about historic preservation and art. They really want to promote art and education. So they like that middle picture with the bike, the streetscaping, the statues, the lighting, outdoor seating. That is something typically the Main Street programs handle in their cities. So last year, when I made this proposal to the CRA advisory board, I preached the trifecta, which was the workings between the Chamber of Commerce, the CRA, and Main Street. And this year, I really wanted to focus on what I call the four-leaf clover, or the quadrant. Sounds more professional, but it would be the city, the CRA, the Chamber, and the Main Street organizations all coming together for a common goal. So that's 4 organizations working towards the same objective and really working together to get it done quicker. Oops. So I just went to a training with Main Street. Again, so Newman from Wauchula Main Street, she shared this quote that says, "CRAs can build it, Main Streets make it successful." So CRAs can help with facades and really can help with monetary value with these businesses. The issue you see with a lot of downtowns is that they have a revolving door because the businesses aren't surviving because there's not enough foot traffic, there's not enough marketing and attention. It is a team effort. Main Street is historic preservation, economic vitality. It's for everyone. It's all inclusive, and the concepts do transfer to the entire community. What they have found is that all the other cities that started focusing on their main streets, all the side streets and the houses that surround them started taking better care and much more pride in their properties as well. So these are some key components to succeed per the Florida Main Street. Follow the 4-point approach, unerring commitment to succeed, unified vision for downtown, strong committed leadership and board, partnerships are essential, understanding success is incremental, without risk there's no reward, and downtown is never finished. I did want to share, this is Charles Rudd, who's the current city manager of Crescent City, and I did attach a copy of his document in the folder because it's very long, but I want to share his point of view. I am going to try to read this a little bit quickly. The Florida Main Street 4-point approach is a methodology for organizing your redevelopment efforts in your community. The 4 points are economic vitality, promotion, design, and organization. As the name states, it is an approach that the community adopts to organize their activities into a comprehensive incremental effort to revitalize their downtown or commercial district. Part of the approach is to have a 501c3 organization dedicated solely to the downtown revitalization effort. This means for optimal results, the organization is not embedded in the city government, chamber of commerce, or merchants association. It is not another group squeezing into the community to get a piece of the pie. It is a community organized for revitalization. There are other approaches, but I believe that utilizing the Main Street approach yields the best results. Even when I have managed community redevelopment agencies, I have always organized my work plan around the 4-point approach. I am also a certified CRA administrator by the Florida Redevelopment Association, and the approach of CRAs is very similar to Main Street, but without the organization point. Organization is bringing all the stakeholders to the table, as well as cultivating a membership and recruiting, training, and utilizing volunteers. If residents want to participate with the CRA, typically they get 3 minutes at the microphone under an audience to be heard on the agenda. This is unless there's a CRA advisory board made up of property owners in the redevelopment area who can serve usually 3 to 6 years. If these seats are full or you do not own a property in the redevelopment area, you are out of luck. Main Street organizations are comprised of volunteers, engaged residents, and business owners who want to contribute and make a difference in their community. The best scenario is to have a Main Street organization to engage citizens, champion and promote the downtown, increase foot traffic, increase and promote public art, encourage historic preservation, and work with the business owners and have a CRA to do the heavy lifting of infrastructure, grants, land assembly, development agreements, and to cover the overhead of the Main Street organization. When he wrote this, back then, just like when I made my presentation last year, CRA, there are still many organizations, even to this day, that CRAs are funding Main Streets, but you have to listen to what your attorney is advising. And I believe that this CRA attorney has already suggested not to. So that's why we're here. I was a CRA manager in a community that had no Main Street organization and a city government that had a really bad history and relationship with its downtown merchants. Whenever I walked in the door of a local business, I brought all that history with me, even though I was new to the city. I would have gladly dedicated $50,000 of my budget every year to contract with the Main Street organization to act as an ombudsman and work with the downtown merchants, put on special events and merchant events, increase our public input and participation. Everything Main Street organizations do is economic development. Everything they do is important and part of the city's economic development efforts. So recently, Florida Main Street did invite me to their annual conference. So I went up there. It was in Fernandina Beach. It was a 9-hour round trip, but I did get to take some educational courses and attend their annual. Some of the classes that I took was understanding the roles of the city, community redevelopment agency, street, how to share the 4 pillars with your community, and AI and marketing on Main Street. These pictures of just some of the classes that we took, learning their merchandise. That's Jessica Newman right there from Wauchula. And then all the classes had city managers, chamber of commerce directors, and everyone in between. That is Catherine Beck. She is the Florida Main Street coordinator. There's Cord Bird. He is the Secretary of State. And Sally O'Hara from Hastings Main Street, which she focuses a lot on grant writing and does a lot with Main Street and the Florida Association. So how do we start? We would have to have a vision and mission statement, a comprehensive work plan. Main Street has a historic preservation ordinance or a historic preservation review board, creation of board and bylaws, annual budget, an executive director that attends the Main Street quarterly meetings, 101 trainings, and annual conference, and has a national Main Street membership. How does funding Main Street help the city? So this would be the city's ROI. You would have a beautiful and vibrant city, thriving businesses, fun events. It would make downtown a destination location. You would have a growing downtown, lots of tourism and community. And these would be some of the goals moving forward. If would be by businesses. Economic vitality, increase foot traffic, assist the existing businesses, beautify downtown while preserving history, promote Main Street District as a destination location, work alongside the city, CRA, Chamber of Commerce to find goals and achieve them, and create a strong foundation for future generations. So this would be the implementation and first year plan. While I was up at that annual conference, I did have a conversation with the coordinator over the program, and with her encouragement and blessing, she did suggest to go ahead and start the reinstatement process. So that has already started. That doesn't mean that the program itself is reinstated. It just means that the paperwork has already been started with a nonprofit. So we would have to also set up an office. We would have to have collaborative meetings between the city, CRA, chamber, TDC, and more. We would have to have a recruitment for the board of directors, committee formations. We would have to create the bylaws, branding of Avon Park Main Street, membership and sponsorship recruitment, and then we would have to go to mandatory trainings. So I'm excited. I really encourage everyone to be a part of that. I want us to bring back Avon Park Main Street. I think we have a new city manager, a new CRA and economic development manager. We have the baseball museum coming. Our sister city, HETV, just, is getting a lot of attention, and we have a passionate community. So I do think this is the perfect time to implement a program like this.
I'd like to have a couple of questions, if I don't mind.
Go ahead.
Is that okay with you, Jane? Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I compliment you on your homework. It's pretty impressive what you put together in a very, very short time. But I do remember I was at the original meeting a year ago at the CR Advisory Board when you first presented it. And so I have some questions that you brought up at that time. The first one was, which you sort of mentioned with the 501c3, you talked about how they may cost money as well as may take a long time. What did you say about how we were going to address that?
So the 501c3 Avon Park Main Street Incorporated has already been filed. So that is and it's coming back with the IRS. We can move forward, but then we would still have to form a board. So that is completely up to, I know about Bernice said that she wanted to have some involvement, like the council should have some involvement. You are allowed to be on the board, but due to sunshine laws, you cannot be a voting board member, but you're more than welcome to be a part of the board. Typically the Main Street boards have up to 15 board members. So if everyone wanted to be on the board, not have a voting right, but you want to suggest someone to be on the board, like that whole process we can work together on. But yeah, so that was already formed, that was already paid for personally.
So Bernice could be like a city liaison to the board.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. That answered one of the questions.
You can participate in all the meetings. You can voice your opinion. You just couldn't vote on it.
Okay. The other question I have was, let's go right to the board members. Have you talked to anybody about being possible future board members?
Yes. So we do have 4 current board members. And I can also give you their information as well. But all that is subject to change in the future. They are fully understanding that this is a process and we're just getting it started. But I do feel like currently with everyone that we had on board, they all play a really important role.
Okay. You also talked about office space and equipment. If you have a plan for that.
Yes, so we are, I have been having some conversations with some downtown organizations, some just getting pricing, some have even offered to allow us to use a space in their establishment. So it's kind of hard to make plans if you don't really know if you can make the plans or not, but there is space available for Main Street, and it does have to be in the Main Street jurisdiction.
Okay. I believe you were at the last week's meeting that Ms. Jessica put on for the Main Street, which she had to admit was absolute fantastic job. I was totally impressed by that.
All the workshops have been
Yeah, the
great.
workshop, including the one on the south side.
Yeah.
Fantastic job, Jessica. I have to give you lots of credit for that. But one of my questions that I asked to mention to the city manager at the time is like, wow, she's got a lot of stuff to do. She's got a lot of things to do. And obviously it's going to take some time to try to build up downtown Avon Park. I know everybody has been associated with Main Street Avon Park for years. We've all been talking about when are we going to get the office space filled? I mean, we even had people say, I walked down down Main Street and found 12, 15 empty spaces. When are we going to finally do that? So I know that Jessica is capable of getting that started, but I think she definitely needs some help. And that's why I think your plan of having members of the CRA, the chamber, the TDC, and I also would maybe recommend a couple other social groups in the city. I don't know whether you would consider or not, but I noticed that Sarah Pipel, who has a real estate business here, has now formed a foundation, which I believe that she has, one is in charge of the things on the weekend where they had the vegetables and artwork. What is it?
Farmers market.
Farmers market, right. So not only does she have a stake in Lake Placid, I think she has an office, but she has a stake here. So she wants to see Avon Park grow, which will help her business grow. And obviously she has a lot of knowledge and experience over the years, which I think would be a good mentor to help you along. Because I mean, I give you a lot of credit for somebody at your age. You seem like you're a lot smarter than me. And I think that Sarah Pipel, as well as other members that are on social media that have a lot of comments. I mean, even people, you know who the groups are. They basically turn around and they tell the community what's upcoming events are coming, the city meetings are coming, the recommendation for employee of the quarter. They give a lot of stuff on social media so the citizens can follow exactly what's going on in the city. And I think that if people knows that Sarah Pipel does a lot to that community, I think she would be a good member of the board member for you to consider. I'm not telling
Absolutely.
you have to. I'm just saying she'd be a good one. I'm sure that the members that you already have ideas are probably going to be great. And I'm really happy about the fact that we could have the city liaison. And I actually would recommend Miss Bernice Taylor, because I think that one of the things that she talked about, I was very impressed on the Main Street workshop last week, that she said she would be glad to go out and even help the residents who are in the Main Street CRA to see if they could get facade grants. So I give her a lot of credit for that too. So all I can say is I think this is wonderful. I think the homework you did is impressive. I know we talked about it in our initial meeting. I don't know whether you were here Saturday. I believe you were. We
Yeah.
talked about the budget. So
Yeah.
there's possibly some funds in the budget to get this started. So maybe we could do something like quarterly 6-month trial basis. Obviously, if we have a contract that would be, the in and out terms, whatever, then you'd have to report and show us exactly what you would do and what has been done so far. But I think that you would be a great addition to Jessica, because she's overloaded, but she's got some great ideas, but I'm sure she could get some help. And the TDC helps us a little bit. The chamber is very, very impressive. So I like the idea of having 4 or 5 leaf clover. So thank you.
And I think I have a lot of Main Streets that have reached out. I probably have at least 5 or 6 different cities that have sent me their bylaws. They've sent me their contract with their city. Some of them are even funded by the county because they don't have a CRA. And I have a lot of guidance when it comes to that. And I do see that a lot of them, because they're established, they're on like a 2 or 3 year agreement. I think because it's something new, I think it should be a yearly agreement, and they do go to the meetings. They always give reports and keep everyone updated as to like what they're doing.
Are you a member of the Rotary too?
Yes.
Well, that's another great addition to help you, because there's a lot of great businessmen that have been in the city for many, many, many years. So I think that you would have some help, and basically some people that would give you some advice to move their opinions forward. So I like this idea. I think it's definitely worth the startup rate to see what we can do, and as well as maybe even help with this Chamber of Christmas tree thing. Don't get that started. I like that idea a lot too. So I like your idea, and I like to see it move forward.
Miss Jane, I have some questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever applied for any grants before?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you successful in them?
Yes, ma'am.
What types of grants?
I applied for a placemaking grant through this CRA in Bartow. I applied for 10,000 and was awarded 25,000.
Okay, and what experience do you bring to the table in regards to Avon Park Main Street? What experience? I'm not talking about people you've talked to. I'm not talking about the training you just attended. I'm talking about what experience, because as far as I'm concerned, this is a big task, okay? So I want to know exactly what experience you bring to the table to take on this task.
Well, I feel like, especially working with the state, when I worked at the Florida Department of Corrections, I was tasked with their ACA audit team. So I worked with all the auditors, making sure all the state paperwork was filed and prepared correctly. When I worked at the sheriff's office, I did a lot of policy and review writing. So as far as bylaws, board creations, fixing policies, ordinances, and things like that, I feel like I have a lot of experience. I've owned multiple businesses. I've been in charge of all my own taxes, all my own sales and use taxes, managing multiple employees.
Ms. Jane, I guess where I'm getting at is that, you're talking about the procedures and manuals and all that. I'm talking about Avon Park Main Street itself, because I know one of them probably include horticulture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want you to focus on what would be happening and what would be happening on Main Street and what would you be designing and all that. What experience you bring to the table when it comes to that?
So as far as horticulture, a lot of the things that Main Street does is subcontract. So you work with your city, your CRA, and you define what they want your downtown to look like. And then you're tasked with making sure that that is what they receive. As far as Main Street, there's multiple components. It's not just making downtown beautiful. It's about helping downtown businesses. Being a business that have started from scratch multiple times, I know exactly what it takes to be a small business. I know the exact struggles that they face in a town like this. I've held multiple community events down here in Avon Park. And I'm a part of multiple organizations here in Avon Park. So I feel like it's more than just flowers.
Well,
It's also working with multiple agencies.
Miss Jane, like the man said, I'm not sure what his name is, but you had his picture in and you had his picture in here. I'm not sure what his name is. And he talked about the 4 points and he talked about economics, vitality, promotion, and design.
Mhm.
That's what I want to know. What experience do you have in that?
Economic vitality, being a business owner, having the events that promote traffic. When I was asked by Florida Main Street Bartow to bring a farmer's market to Bartow.
Mhm.
And when I did, I created a lot of foot traffic in which multiple businesses reported back that when I have my farmer's market on Saturdays, they're up 33% in profits. I am in charge of all the marketing, working with the Main Street Association, working with the city, defining those goals. I had multiple meetings throughout the year with the mayor. And I work alongside all those agencies to make sure that what they are requesting is what they received. And I've proven that in Bartow.
Okay. And Miss Jane, when you walked up to the mic, you introduced yourself and you gave the address of Sebring. Do you live in Sebring?
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you interested in Avon Park and why not Sebring?
I'm interested in the whole community. I lived in Highlands County almost 10 years. I started coming to Avon Park probably around 3 or 4 years ago when I've owned 2 businesses, not in the city jurisdiction, but in Avon Park on the county side. But once I started doing business here in Avon Park, I started traveling downtown. And that's when I went into the museum. That's when I joined the chamber. That's when I got inducted into Rotary. And once I started seeing all the potential, I fell in love with it.
Okay. And do you know if Sebring have a Sebring Main Street?
They do not.
And why haven't, since you live in Sebring, you think that that's where your heart is at? I'm just thinking, I may be wrong.
Of course.
Since you live in Sebring, have you pitched that to Sebring Council?
I have not because
And is that?
because Sebring is so much further than Avon Park. I think Sebring has the key players, has the programs, and has that working mechanism where they have all these entities working together. And I feel like the difference between Sebring and Avon Park is obvious. And I feel like, not that they don't need the assistance, but I saw way more potential here in Avon Park. So I felt like I could be more of a help and benefit to Avon Park than Sebring that has HGTV and has all these people seeking these opportunities.
Okay, my next question is, what do you hope to accomplish that our CRA, that our Avon Park CRA can accomplish other than foot traffic and marketing? What do you hope to accomplish other than those two that our CRA can't do for themselves?
Well, the CRA and Main Street are different. They do offload a lot of the work.
I understand they're different, but I also know that CRA can provide a lot of this stuff and a lot of it they can't. I know the difference between the two, okay? But a lot of your pamphlet here, it talks about a lot of the stuff that when I go to the CRA meetings, we've already discussed this, what you want to do.
Yep.
And so my question is, other than foot traffic, because I believe that we can provide our own foot traffic, and I also believe we can do our own marketing. But I was just throwing those two at you.
Of course.
Other than those two,
Yep.
what else can you provide?
So Main Street works alongside the actual businesses and they focus on the vacancy rate in your downtown area. They also host events, which CRAs cannot. So again, creating that place where people want to come down. CRAs, as far as Main Streets go, there's over 40 cities in the state of Florida that have a Main Street program where they work alongside their CRA. So this isn't an unheard of type of task. And those tasks that you see, they also have CRAs. It's just that the CRAs have a lot of the bigger projects
Mhm.
that take a long time, and main streets are used for those smaller wins. And I know that I've seen meeting has been said, those small wins, when she had brought forward the idea of it, is that it with their goals and getting those accomplished, especially when you have a lot of things that have to get done in a short time.
Okay, my next question, y'all bear with me. My next question, have you met our city manager?
Yes,
Have you met our CRA director?
yes,
And have you sat down with them one-on-one or in a group and discussed their plan? Discuss your plan with them? Because the reason why I'm asking the question, we got a city manager that we hope would look over our Avon Park Main Street. And we got a CRA director who I thought that would head this up, okay? So the reason why I'm asking you this is, did you actually go and sit down and talk with those two young ladies and tell them what your plan was, and then tell us what they thought of it?
in a formal setting, no, but I have had conversations about Main Street.
Okay, and so what did they think of it?
Well-
You heading up our Avon Park Main Street, what did they think of it?
I'm sorry, hello? I did
Mhm.
not ask them, how do you personally feel about me heading the program? It was just when Jessica, I'm gonna call you by your first name.
Mhm.
When Jessica first started with this job, I know that was a topic. So we went to Main Street Bartow,
Mhm.
and we were seeing how could that work together. And she was trying to see, could the CRA and the Main Street work? And it has happened in the past.
Mhm.
Avon Park has had it and it did not work. It fails more than it succeeds.
Mhm.
Usually it's the demographics
Mhm.
where the CRA can be tasked with Main Street. And the state of Florida would tell you that, and a few of the other main streets, when you have a lot of projects going on, it is very hard to have someone manage both of those entities. When we left there, I brought up the proposal that I made last year. I said that I was still interested. I didn't know if the proposal was still good, and that was the end of it.
Miss Benham, what title would you hold?
Executive director.
And you would choose the board members?
No, well, I have the 4 board members right now,
Mhm.
and there's usually 15.
Mhm.
All those other ones could be up for discussion.
Okay, and my last question, because I know
Yes,
the
ma'am.
ladies got questions. I heard you said that you had already filed a 501c3.
Yes, ma'am.
Who gave you permission for Avon Park?
Yes,
Who
ma'am.
gave you permission to do that?
The state of Florida.
Okay, so you filed it for Avon Park Main Street.
Yeah, this is
In
a
hopes-
private
And I'm
entity.
just saying, in hopes that we will allow you to do this.
Well, it's not that I'm asking permission. I'm asking for a partnership. You don't own Avon Park Main Street.
Uh-huh.
That is a private entity in which I was giving permission and blessing to go ahead and file. So you, as in the board, can decide if that's something you want to partner with.
But I heard you say given permission to go ahead.
I
and
was
file.
giving the blessing and the green light by the state of Florida Main Street, when I went up to the conference that they invited me to. So I did go ahead and file the 501c3 like instructed.
And you don't think you jumped the gun by filing a 501c3 for Avon Park Main Street?
No,
Not
ma'am.
even coming before.
No,
us?
ma'am, because it's a private entity.
Okay.
Wouldn't this be similar to the Chamber of Commerce?
Yes. This
Okay.
is a private entity. You just decide if you want to work with it.
Okay. Okay. That's all my questions. I'm gonna open up for the.
It's their program, so they just gave me the okay.
We do have some signups.
I got some questions though, if you don't mind.
Want to have the signups first?
Sure.
I think we've got 4. I don't know if they're all for this topic, but 2 of them are notated for it. So first we have Janet Tyndall.
Right there.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure they may have questions for you.
Before I say what I want to say, is it already done?
No, we
Okay.
haven't voted on anything. And as she stated, it's a separate organization for the
Okay.
city.
My name is Janet Tyndall. I was born and raised here in Avon Park, never left, so didn't have to come back. I'm a retired nurse of 25 years here in the county. I am a co-owner of Pro Weld Inc. in Avon Park. We've owned it. This September will be 35 years. And I have little magnolias and steel that I've had for 6 years. I kind of a little bit. I just, in my little bit of retirement, I've gotten bored, so I wanted to get involved with the city some. So I came to some CR21 CRA meeting because I've been involved with chamber here with various jobs and with just my job. But CRA had a great meeting the other night, and everything she has outlined, Jessica has outlined. May I call you Jessica? Okay, has outlined is the same thing that was just presented. And she's only been with us since April. So it's like we're not giving her a chance to run with this and see where she can take downtown Evan Park. And there are other people that were here at the meeting, and she had a great turnout of people who are willing to volunteer to do the events so that money can get back into Avon Park. You brought up Watula, the CRA director, and Main Street is the same person in that county. That you want to take on, but they are the same. And that's just where I am. It's like we don't give people enough time. I was excited around Verona. But how many years has it taken for somebody to put fresh grass and everything around Lake Verona? I mean, I'm excited to see the change in Avon Park because I grew up here. I know what it can be, and I think it can get back there. And I listened to the budget meeting and saw where there's the possibility that there will be some people that lose their positions because of budget cuts, which I get totally, but that they wouldn't just waltz back in and get a job with the city. They would have to apply. So I just think we need to be careful with what we bring into the city and confuse people, because CRA is also CRA Main Street trying to get people involved. You're going to confuse them with CRA Main Street and Main Street. I guess that's all I have to say. I just wanted to say my piece. That's all.
Okay. Sure.
I do just want to add that the CRA at Main Street, it is not taking away the CRA's job. In multiple cities, they all coexist. It is still the CRA's facade grants. It's still the CRA's design. Everything still goes through the CRA. They are just helping with the process. Like in some cases with these murals, Main Street can pre-approve, let's just say up to 15,000. But if there was a mural that was 20 or plus, they would have to go straight to the CRA. So it's still the CRA's work. It's just that the Main Street is helping them. It's not about putting two organizations against each other. That's not the intention. And over 40 cities in the state of Florida have proven that. They work alongside each other. So that is not the goal of Main Street. It is to work hand in hand with those organizations. They define what they want, and Main Street just helps them and focuses on the Main Street. So I just don't want that to be pinned against each other. And I do know that even Jessica herself has even brought forward the idea, thinking that it could be funded with CRA. It can't no longer be funded with CRA funds. So, you know, I did receive an email that just said that the idea was to start Main Street, to offload it to a private entity when it was proposed last month. So if the goal was to already get it to a private entity, and I was pretty much saying anyone can make the presentation. So I did go ahead and make the presentation. So
I have one quick question before anybody else does. Do you have any marketing experience at all?
yes, sir.
Could you explain that to us?
I do J&B marketing and events. I do some nonprofits on the Treasure Coast. I help multiple organizations in our area, help them with their businesses. I get subcontracted a lot with events, Camp Wingman. They usually hire me and I help run their events and things like that because they just need assistance with their ongoing events.
Thank you.
Jane, my only problem to that is we just budgeted for a grant coordinator. We can apply for our own grants. We can do this stuff ourselves. Why would we have someone else to do it?
I just feel like personally, this is a real thing. I've only, again, been in Avon Park for 3 or 4 years, and it's just that we've been having the same conversation over and over.
And I say, let's give Jessica a chance.
And you can, but you're also putting the two organizations against each other when it's not taking their job, it's assisting them. And I think the fact that the CRA even proposed bringing back Main Street a few weeks ago. It's a program, and in that same budget meeting, I don't know who allocated the $30,000 for the Main Street creation. On Saturday, there was a budget line. So that is a number that nobody, I don't know how that number came up, but it just shows that they support the program.
I'll make one other comment too. I did in the last week ask Jessica about her presentation and amount of work that she has to do. And I did ask her if she was open to get any assistance from any other work groups, and she told me positively, correct? So, thank you.
All right, we got some more signups. Next one is Beverly Ruck. Give your name and address, if you will, on the microphone.
My name is Beverly Ruck. I live at 6300 East Arbuckle Road, Avon Park. And Jessica Carlson and okay. Jessica and Danielle Kelly have made huge strides in the advancement of AP. Main Street America will be a great program with the correct person directing it. Back in March 2024, Jane Benham was vying for Main Street America. It was very evident that she had too much on her plate at that time. Citizens of Avon Park and Greater Highlands County community feel it necessary to raise strong concerns regarding Benham's appointment for this position as director for Main Street America program. While Benham has experience in community-facing initiatives, her past behavior in businesses and local partnerships demonstrate a pattern that raises red flags when considering her for a position requiring integrity, transparency, and community trust. Benham co-founded the Highlands Farmers Market with a business partner who severed ties publicly and expressed dissatisfaction with the partnership shortly after Benham moved the market right next door to where the market had been held for 5 months. Again, this points to a troubling trend in her professional interaction. Difficulty maintaining strong, equitable, and lasting business relationships. There is a growing concern among members of Avon Park community that Benham enjoys undue protection and influence from some sitting council members, one in particular, raising questions about conflicts of interest and behind-the-scenes political favors. While these concerns may be difficult to prove definitively, the perception alone is enough to undermine the public trust in both her approval for the impartiality of city leadership for a role that demands transparency and community confidence. These perceptions must be taken seriously. In conclusion, the Main Street America program is built on collaboration, transparency, trust, and respect for the community interest. Placing someone with repeated patterns of broken agreements, controversial involvement in community affairs, fractured business partnerships, and perceived political favoritism into a leadership role puts the credibility and success of the program at serious risk. This is not a personal attack. It is a professional concern, backed with clear evidence and widely shared by many community members who want to see Avon Park thrive under trustworthy, fair-minded leadership. We urge the city to reconsider this appointment and instead seek a candidate whose actions have consistently demonstrated integrity, accountability, and true commitment to serving the community without personal or political agendas. Due to the limited time I have to speak before you, I have further documentation to provide you tonight before you move forward with a decision about Main Street or choose a Main Street board. Thank you for hearing me and these out.
Righty.
Mayor, I have public comment through the chat
Okay.
when you're ready.
Go ahead.
Individuals just listed as Erica says let's see. Tell me what you can do for Avalon. And I would think she means Avon and 18 East. I am investing in Avon Park, 150 East Main Street. I went to city. They said nothing. And that's the end of the comment.
Okay. Jane, do you want to respond to that, to any of the comments?
I have to find out.
Got to do it in the microphone.
Skip the line.
Okay. Let's give your name and organization.
Nancy Fisk. I live at 603 South Hart Avenue, and I am the president of the Avon Park Historical Society. First of all, Jane has not been appointed by the city council, so that whole diatribe is unnecessary. But anyway, I want to speak in favor of Jane in that what she's asking it for is to partner with the CRA. The CRA deals with brick and mortar. The CRA cannot promote events. As we have now raised the money to build an addition to our museum, we just got our occupancy permit, and so we're ready to go with the inside, and we're very excited about that. But it's going to take a lot to maintain it. And I am really looking forward to working with someone like Jane on Main Street to present events, to promote what we have here in our community. The CRA cannot do that. I'm very impressed with what Jessica has come up with for plans for brick and mortar, things that CRA is allowed to do. But it's going to take a lot more than that to really revitalize the city. Events are going to have to be planned, and Jane can do that. And I think personal attacks against her. I'll give you an example of a business alliance that has just fallen apart. There was, talk about fractured business alliances or partnerships. Jane has proven that she has successful businesses here. And I could go on, but I don't think this is the place to either praise her or tear her down. You need to decide on the worth of this program, first of all. And I think Main Street would be of great benefit to Avon Park for the things that they are able to do that CRA cannot. Thank you.
All right, we do have two more signups. They don't have numbers that correspond. They just say public comments. I'll ask them since this seems to be the popular subject here. Camel Long, is this what you want to talk about? Okay. Warren West is all right. All right, so we'll save those for later. You guys just raise your hand whenever you're ready to speak. You had some questions?
I do.
Okay.
So as I sit here and I listen to this, it's almost like I'm listening to what the CRA is doing. It's almost like an identical CRA presentation. I feel like this is another board that's going to have no accountability to the public. The EDC, the TDC, and the CRA groups are who we pay taxes to. And I don't see giving more taxpayers money to do what those organizations already do. So I have some questions for you, Ms. Bowne. Just right off the bat, how much money are you asking for?
Well, I thought I was going to ask for the 30,000 that was allocated on Saturday for it.
Miss Dr. Kelly, did you know that was the amount, or was that just something that you put in there just in case this was approved? Or is that all that was able to be budgeted?
That's all I put in there based on previous conversations that we'd had internally and on Jessica's presentation several weeks ago.
Okay.
Is there any plan internally for a Main Street program? I mean, what's the,
I think that would depend on what the discussions are here today. When we had talked about it internally, yes. And then this was put on the agenda.
okay. Well, what I'm getting at is that you had put something on the, in the budget. So you said that you had talked about it. So if Jane had not come forward, what would have been the likely plan that the city admin would have put forward? Or is there not one?
Okay, so obviously we've all talked about Main Street. You've heard it before. I presented it. There's two different ways that Main Streets are set up. They're either set up under the city and under the guise of the city, and the city has control over that Main Street. Typically in smaller rural areas, it's under CRA. While CRA cannot fund events, it can't give donations to outside organizations, and it cannot fund salaries and operations for programs not under CRA. It can take on, Main Street can be a great conduit to things that CRAs cannot do within the same office. That's why City of Wauchula, Jessica Newman is both of those things. So it really depends on council, how much money you want to expend on a Main Street organization and how much control you want over the process and setting that up. What my goal was before this came back was there needs to be a workshop. We need to get with the business owners and have a workshop like we've done with all the other CRA districts and pull those business owners and people that want this to see what the pulse is. Do they want to serve as directors? There needs to be a bidding opportunity, I feel like, for the directors' positions. So get those people together and say there's an application process for the board of directors. Then the city, if it's under the city then establishes some type of steering committee to do a board selection. The board and you can do this a million different ways. The board then establishes an executive director. Or if you decide based on budgeting that's under CRA, there's several ways to slice this pie. But
I guess what is your hope that the city's version of the Main Street program would accomplish that you can't already do?
Events are a big one. And
Well, the city can do events.
under general funds.
Not through
you
the
can-
CRA, but the city.
Yes. And more so that collaborative, it's just to focus on Main Street and the Main Street businesses and generating. Now, my title is also economic development, so that is part of my job description. We do have a lot of projects going on, but will we want more focus on just building up those businesses, the vacancies? We don't have a lot of buildings where we can put businesses right now. So is there a need for that? Or is it more of an event related organization? Probably in the beginning, but it's giving your business owners a seat at the table. So they feel like they're directly involved in the decision-making process of developing their downtown and the beautification of downtown, which is very closely tied to CRA.
And there is a big process of how things go. The issue is that there was nothing. So it is a little different how we're going about it. But again, giving the blessing from Florida Main Street, they were okay with the way we went about it. Moving forward, there is going to be a policy. There's going to be a procedure. There's going to be a whole entire standard list and job description of things moving forward. It's, just getting that ball rolling. And it's just, there's a lot of ideas, but there's not a lot of action. So it's just putting it in place, getting that ball rolling, and then addressing it for the future.
Comment behind you.
Well, I wasn't done.
Brenda Gray, 410 East Lakeview Drive, Avon Park, Florida. I have a concern. One of my questions was, where would the startup money come from? And you answered that from the city of Avon Park. Is that correct? $30,000. My concern after that was that I remember when we had the CRA long time ago, and
Main Street, you mean?
Main Street, Avon Park, Main Street, that's what we had. And my thought is that if we give $30,000, nothing against the program, to one organization, what will stop other nonprofit private organizations to come up and say, can I get we used to give 5,000, 2,000 for whatever events long time ago. So that's my concern, is that if we give this private nonprofit, other private nonprofits are going to come and ask for an assistance as well.
Shelley, you had some questions.
So the 30,000 wasn't necessarily your first amount, was it?
No, so, but it was in that ballpark range. It's a little bit less, but I definitely think that that's doable, especially if we do go the route where we wouldn't be charged for the office space.
Okay, so this 30,000 will be your salary,
Correct,
your rent, your operating expenses,
correct.
your marketing material.
No, so typically, so also the funding coming from the city, it's usually, historically, it was a third, and a third. Most in the state of Florida are funded. It's a unorthodox way of asking. Most, if not all, Main Street in the state of Florida get either funded by the city or they're,
We need to get another mic.
sorry.
Maybe, yeah.
And I'm
maybe
like,
turn sideways.
So,
Maybe she can talk without. Maybe loud enough without.
Well, it's not gonna be recorded.
okay. So most main streets they have some sort of governmental funding, whether it comes from their city, whether it comes from the CRA, or it comes from their county. Now, again, usually it comes from the county if you don't have a CRA. It could get funded by the CRA, but your CRA attorney is advising and recommending it not to be, but it is funded in other cities with CRAs. Hence why we're asking for general funds. But the reason that you want to ask for general funds is because, one, this was a program that was already taken away from us. It got taken away because we didn't file a quarterly report for 2 years. We didn't go to any of the trainings for over 4. So this really ensures that they have that concrete funding to prove that we would do the right thing for the second time. And although it is a nonprofit, it is a state and nationally accredited program. So it's not just a random, all nonprofits are important, but at least I'm just saying this is a nationally recognized nonprofit.
So from what I understand too, and Ms. Gray, maybe you can help me with this. There was no board with that. So that's the reason. It wasn't like somebody failed at it. There was just no board elected to take the duties on. So
No,
it wasn't a fail.
If you look at your folder,
I looked at it, but it wasn't a
there
fail.
was someone assigned to it as a director.
She was not a director. She volunteered to do that.
Okay, but on paperwork, she was tasked to do that.
She was not a board member.
No, she was
That was
she was the project manager, which is now called the executive director. The term has changed.
By the city.
She was, and that's why I said it was once upon a time with the CRA and Main Street, and they did not follow through. They didn't have a board. The program was never operated correctly from the start.
Okay. So have you ever had any experience as an executive director?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you do have experience in economic vitalization?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Have you worked or collaborated with anyone who has worked with Main Street Florida program before?
Yes, ma'am. Multiple. I
And
had
who-
the letters of recommendations in there from the other
Okay,
directors.
who and what city was that?
So I work hand in hand with Florida Main Street. I've been working a year and a half with Florida Main Street. I've been working with Sally O'Hara, and she's reached out her hand for understanding more of the grants. I've been talking to Fernandina Beach. So they're all very,
So if I'm not mistaken then, you've assigned yourself as the executive director.
with agreement of the board, the
Okay,
current board
Who are the board members?
currently.
Mhm.
So we have Jenny Tulo,
Which is your friend?
which was she's a respected business owner who has owned a business
What is
on
it?
Main Street.
To your friend, but who else?
Nancy,
Which is a friend.
president of the Historical Society. I have a lot of friends. I have Lieutenant Neely.
Okay. And
I just didn't know if you were going to say.
I don't know anything about.
Okay. We have Javon Backus, who was a previous Main Street director. I think she put in her letter of recommendation as well.
So I see also too, thank you. I see also too that you have JMB Marketing and Events, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that Is that listed on SunBiz?
No, it's not.
How come?
It's
Just
because
curious.
something I do on the side right now.
Okay. So City Chicks Farming.
Yes, ma'am.
You dissolved that.
Yes, ma'am.
J&B Clothing, you dissolved that,
That never really opened.
but it was
I
established.
established it because I thought it was something that I wanted to do, but then I didn't want to purchase anything because I wanted to be able to write it off on my taxes, but I ended up working at the sheriff's office, so I never started that.
So you've got a lot of businesses, you work with the chamber, your involvement with the both Rotaries, you have children, you have your household, your Bible study group. I'm just curious how much time you're going to have to devote to Main Street, US Florida. I mean, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Are
To
you?
be honest, I mean,
Can I finish?
So
finish yours and then I got a comment on
Okay, well,
that
then you
too.
can wait till I'm done. So I'm just curious how much time you're going to be able to give to your participation in this program.
Before you respond to that, because I can talk in front of her, I've got 4 kids and I've got a business and you've got children and you work, but you dedicate. What if somebody out there asked you the same question
Am I
about
not
running
allowed
for
to
the
ask further
council?
Questions? Am I not allowed to ask those?
Well, it's just,
It's just as a mom.
It is.
And as a business owner,
Listen,
that
if
feels like a
we're-
physical.
hey,
I'm
if
now
we're
I'm
gonna
talking,
give
so you
her-
need to wait until I'm done. You were finished and you asked her a question and was waiting for her response. That was offensive to me as a person who is a mother, a business owner.
Okay. Are you asking the city for $30,000 to start a Main Street program?
Nobody asked them
Okay.
to vote for me to be on the council because that
And-
meant I was going to dedicate my time, energy into this. It's nobody's business how we decide to appropriate our time management. Just like we don't ask you the same thing, Shelley.
Look,
That's
I'm only
not-
asking if
that's
she's
not
going to be
fair.
able to have time. That's all I'm asking. So
You
So yes,
answer
I
me.
do have,
Brittany,
Sit back over
Brittany,
there.
can I speak, Mayor? Brittany, I think you read more into that. I really do.
I didn't
And
think so.
as of
pretty.
No.
That was pretty.
Brittany, as of the 31st of this month, I would have attended 14 meetings. It's a lot. I can see what she's saying. If your schedule is busy, do you really have the time to dedicate what we need you to dedicate to the city of Avonport Main Street? I think that's what she's saying. That's all.
All right, Jane, do you
I-
have?
I'd like to interject one thing. I think some of those questions are an HR issue. If somebody would like to speak about, I think those are too personal questions to ask somebody that we're trying to hire. We should ask them questions concerning the business, not concerning their personal life. I think that may be considered illegal, so I'd be very careful.
it is obvious. I do have 4 children. She's absolutely correct. And I do own multiple businesses. So that is a fact. Those are things that I do a lot for the community. That is something that I'm passionate about. I do have staff. I do have employees that handle a lot of those businesses for me because not one person can do all those things even right now, but I still get it done because I do have employees and staff to help me with that. But I am an adult and I understand the undertaking. I've been working on this project for a year and a half with Tallahassee. So I am willing to make the appropriate adjustments to make sure that this is successful and not taken away for the second time with 4 kids.
All right, so we got one comment back there, but the real question is, does the city want to partner with this Main Street program that has already been started, or do we not? First, we have to clear that hurdle.
I personally feel that in just the fact that what Jessica responded tonight, as well as the question I asked her, to try to get Main Street up and running in a short amount of time instead of several years. I'm not saying Jessica isn't capable, but like she is, she's also not only Main Street, but she's Southside, and we're ready to have a airport CRA workshop coming up tomorrow night also. So she has a lot on her plate. City manager agreed to that. I think everybody sees all the things that she brought to the workshop last Tuesday. She does have a lot on her plate, and she is open to having some help. I think that for a young lady that brings this type of presentation, do this type of homework, basically is worth at least a trial time to give her a shot to see if we can do this. And if it doesn't work, then obviously we'll have contract letters that says we can get out. If we don't like it, or if she doesn't promote anything, then obviously we gave it a shot. But I think that we could give it 6 months, and we could pay her monthly or quarterly. And if after 3 months or 6 months, she didn't perform to everybody's success, then we could say disband the contract and we wouldn't even spend the $30,000 necessarily. So I think that everybody's a right to have their own opinion. I know social media has their opinions a lot, and a lot of those opinions that came out tonight. But I think this should not be personal. This should be, could this be good for the city? How long have we had empty storefronts in Avon Park? I know for 20 years, and I know of nobody who's done anything about it. And I know that store owners are looking for help. I believe that Jessica's ideas of trying to even give empty store owners the ability to put free signage or decorations just to make the front looks good for the city, I think that's a great idea without even helping them with anything else building on the inside just to make the city pretty. I think Jessica got some great ideas, but I also think she needs some help. And I think there's nothing wrong with giving somebody who's this young, this intelligent, this much energy a shot to do it for a minor thing that's already presented to the budget. And I would like to see it move forward. And I understand everybody has their own opinions. So instead of bickering back and forth, let's just go ahead and I'll make a motion that we go ahead and move forward with the program and give Ms. Benham a shot at doing it.
So was there a number in that motion?
30,000.
Is there a second to this motion?
I'll second for further discussion.
Okay, we do have a speaker. Want to say something? Let's give your name and address or organization, please.
Minister Herbert Sykes, Minister of Carolina Avenue, Church of Christ at 296. My question is, adding other organizations, and since I've been here, I've been partnering with a lot of organization agencies, and but Jessica, she's been doing this job, and I'm like, what's her partnering with the chamber, which seemed like it had the same objective. This isn't creating a vitalized downtown, another agency in the middle of that. I'm just citizen curiosity. Thank you.
Well, I mean, and Jessica bringing it before us last month was kind of because we had not discussed it in a long time. And then, I mean, I felt like based on your presentation, you felt like it would be an asset to the city to have the Main Street. Is that fair based on your presentation? And then the only reason we postponed it, I thought, was because you at one point thought we could pay an additional salary to you from the CRA dollars, and then we realized we couldn't do that. So then it was just tabled indefinitely because we knew we couldn't do that part. But as far as the presentation, I was getting the vibe from you that you felt like it would be an asset to the community.
I absolutely believe Avon or a Main Street organization would be an asset to the city if it's set up correctly. I think the piece we're missing here is the buy-in from the community and the membership that it will support. I hadn't done that due diligence. Where we postpone it is because we didn't have the numbers to say, okay, here's year 1 startup. What does year 2 and 3 look like? And what does the long-term process of, is it going to stay underneath the city? Or would it be, do we start it up, get it fully functioning, and then transfer it over to, which is a much easier way to set up a Main Street. But yes, of course, it's an asset if the community supports it.
Mayor, if I may, I don't know you personally or professionally. The question that I was asking you, I don't think you come to the table with the experience. And one of the questions, that's just me now, because I don't know you, only what you said today. And one of the questions I asked you that stood out to me was that, have you sat down with our city manager and our economic developer, either one-on-one or in a setting? And you stuttered with that, you hesitated with that. And that told me that before coming to this council, maybe you should have sat down and had a one-on-one with them. Because I think that this council would want y'all to get along and have a great relationship, because it's all entwined together. But for you not to even took the opportunity to sit down and talk to them and see what they thought about it, I'm a little iffy with that one. I think that's where you should have started first. You shouldn't have came to the council. You should have addressed them and told them, this is my presentation. This is what I want to do for the city of Avon Park. What do you think? What do you ladies think? And see if they could get behind you, because I think that it is very important for our city manager and our CRA director to work hand in hand with you and that board. And if you're not their fit, we got a problem.
Well, I think I proposed it last year, but
Mhm.
they both weren't here. It
Mhm.
was unanimously voted yes by the advisory board. I didn't move forward. I didn't sit down with them on a personal level.
Yeah.
But I have had conversations with Danielle.
Microphone there,
and
Jane.
Jessica, and they
Jane,
were-
Jane, grab that microphone.
I haven't sat down in a professional formal meeting about it, but I have had conversations with both of them in the past since they have been hired about Main Street. I believe they were both made aware that this was something that was proposed in the previous year. I have had those conversations, whether it was in seeing or whether it was just like, hey, this is something that, I did. But no, I didn't sit down and say, hey, because it's just, again, it's something that I saw that they approved of as well in the past meeting. So my thing is that if it's something that everyone agrees and everyone likes the program, then I just wanted to see, is it something that you guys are willing to approve before we move to the next step? Because I don't have any issues with anyone on this council, Jessica or Danielle. I think that they're absolutely great. And I think that is the difference between last year and this year. I've told Jessica, I love her workshops. They're very informative. I think she's bringing a great energy, as well as Danielle. I think they do things correctly, and I think that it's amazing. And I think that was the right time. But I also don't want to waste people's times if it's not something that the city's willing to even support. So that's kind of,
And at this point, we don't know if they willing to support it, and you may have wasted our time. Who knows?
yeah. Well, I feel like if it's something that the city is going to fund and partner with, then I think it's something that all the city employees should collaborate with.
Is the city the only one that you're going to be trying to get funding from though?
No, so the city, now they're doing it like, you'll get 33% from the city, and then you get 33% from your events, and then 33% from sponsorships and memberships. There are grants. They're very, very far and few between from what some of the executive directors have told me. But the grants usually are more for those projects. It's not really for like the salary and operations, but there are other ways, again, memberships, sponsorships, and events and city funding.
In March, before Jessica came on.
Give your
board-
name and address again, please.
Sorry, Redwood Rock, 6300 East Arbuckle Road, Avon Park, Florida. In March, before Jessica was hired, I called Tallahassee. They said there was nobody doing anything. And they sent me, well, her assistant sent me all the applications and everything, because not that I wanted to be a director. I was just looking to see if there was something available that someone could do. I did not want to be a director. So I don't know, maybe she didn't, I don't know. And those two right there, that's our dream team. Let them carry the ball. Let them figure it out. They've got a lot of people willing to step up and help them. And Jane, you could even help them. Yeah, but I would say let them start it, and then if you're good at it, maybe they would let you take it over. Who knows? And the third thing is, before you hastily make a decision, I would like to ask that you read my presentation. And that's it.
Mayor, may I speak?
Please.
I just feel like this is a very divisive issue. We have a motion and a second on the table. I think we clearly know what both sides of the table are saying. Why not take the vote, see where it goes, and if more discussion is needed, hold a workshop. That's just my recommendation.
Yeah, give us the right sheet.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You've already.
190 East Main Street. Brittany seconded for a conversation. So wouldn't that be a conversation you
It's
have to have?
irrelevant. It's a motion and a second. Same thing. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Dr. Joanne Muniz. I live at 64 Lakebird Boulevard. I am opening Hacienda 1926 at 6 Main. Just in listening to everything that's been going on, you have the CRA who is involved over many areas, not just Main Street. You have the city council who is directing the city. And then you have a third entity that's coming in that sole focus is on Main Street. I'm going to be a Main Street business owner. I want someone who has my specific interests at heart and can tap into assets and resources that the CRA and the city council cannot. And with all three working together, I feel that you're going to get your Main Street moving. You're going to have your CRA that's going to take out north, south, Main Street, all the different areas that they take out, that they take care of. And then you're going to have your city council that's looking, and a partnership of the three. It's not hiring Jane. It's not hiring her. It's, can you support the organization that she is going to run with a whole bunch of people on a board to allow them to bring your Main Street? If you had people here prior, and there was something I wanted to say before, all of us started at zero. None of you people in this room started in the position that you're in now. I did not start as a business owner. I did not start as a CFO for 20 years. I did not start as a college professor for the last 8. I did not start. I started somewhere. And I think it's unjust to not allow someone who has a vision for the city, who lives in the county, who wants the best thing for the city. I think it's unfair to cut her off at the knees before you're even giving her a chance to see what she can bring to the table. That's my view.
Thank you.
Sarah Pipel, 100 East Main Street. So, Jim, this is to you. You said that nothing has been done in Avon Park. That buildings are vacant. No one is doing anything. You seem to forget things because I have brought in several businesses. I have also brought in several investors. And I'm also, if you forgot, one of the people that's helping my investor build that 2-story building at 101 West Main. As far as events, I have done the Easter egg hunt already. And I have the 2-day block party that's coming up. I also have the Spanish Heritage Festival that's coming up. I don't want your job. I don't. I just think that you all should really carefully make your decision. And like the city has said, a workshop needs to be done. And to gauge the temperature, do we need it? I think I can work with the chamber and do events. There's plenty of us doing events here. The chamber has done several events. We also have the Christmas parade. So to say that this is the biggest problem we have in Avon Park, there's too many people that are down on Avon Park. I've been back and forth from here for 30 years. And the negativity has to stop. You saying that nothing is being brought to Avon Park. I've been busting my ass for the past 2 years, making sure things are happening in Avon Park. So I take offense to that.
Well, I'd like to respond if you would. I don't know whether you were here when I talked about you earlier.
And I appreciate that.
Tons of credit for things that you've done.
I appreciate that.
I thought that your foundation would be a great benefit. I know that you've done things, whether it's the farmer's market, whether it's the Easter egg, your business wants to grow, you're getting in with the upcoming water sports thing, you're part of that advertisement. I give you a lot of credit, and I think
I appreciate that, but
with your experience and your knowledge, I think that you're the one who should be supporting a young lady as a woman, that you should go ahead and support another businesswoman.
Why wasn't I asked to be part of the committee?
Yeah, all right. We can't have any comments that are not in microphones. All right, we're done. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Brenda Gray, 410 East Lakeview Drive, Avon Park. I'm a little confused here. Would she be working for the city of Avon Park?
No.
She would not be an employee, but we're going to consider giving $30,000 to a private nonprofit organization. Is that the issue? And what are we going to do when other private nonprofit 501c3s come to the city of Avon Park and say, I'm putting on this, I need $5,000 for this? You know, Garrett, we went through that several years. There was other organizations, nonprofit organizations coming and asking for whatever. Nothing against you, ma'am, but I just think that you should really, really consider this before you give this organization a $30,000 line item.
Yes, ma'am.
Tanya Marshall, 806 Reddick Street, Avon Park. I am not born and raised in Avon. I am an alumni of Avon Park High School, but my family has roots in this city. I have three things to say. I wasn't aware that you had to be a resident of the city of Avon Park to care about the city of Avon Park. That's apparently that's the main thing. I was on that Main Street board many years ago. So we did have a Main Street organization. I think it was called Main Street USA. I had everybody step down because my memory's shot, but we did have it before, and I don't see the problem with us having it again. Now, Ms. Taylor, the city council members don't even get along. So the fact that you're drumming into her head to be best friends with these other women, I find to be offensive. I'm just going to put it like that.
I don't know what you're talking about. We all get along great.
No, not at all. Well, apparently the law says differently. So, okay. And that's been going back for years. So this kumbaya moment y'all trying to have is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This has been needed for years, and the residents of Avon haven't stepped up to the plate to do anything about it. So why not accept help from anybody who is willing to give help? And that's all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you.
Ms. Marshall, I need to talk to you after the meeting if you would stay afterwards. I have another private question for you.
All right. Is there anything in summary before we vote? Okay. All right. So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Motion, we have a outside organization that's been established. There's been a motion to award that 501c3 with $30,000. Going forward, is there anything else about the motion?
So the motion is a partnership with this.
Partnership with this organization in the form of a donation of $30,000 to the
Mayor.
State the name. Avon Park.
Main Street.
Could we also make it possibly pending the workshop that Jessica talked about with the businesses?
We'll let Jerry
Or
say.
you
what
want-
he
I
thinks.
just was going to comment that any donation you make, as I've recommended in the past, needs to have a contract. Just
Yeah, absolutely. There would definitely have to be a contract. There's going to have to definitely be some like goals. Again, you're making a payment to the organization. Now, what they decide, you can make it 30,000, 50,000. What the board decides to pay me is completely up to what the board decides. I mean, that doesn't mean that the whole 30,000 is going to a salary. That's the monetary value. Now, it could be that amount, but I'm just saying that we still have to define the services and the scope. So it's hard to have a workshop or things like that when you don't even know what could we help the CRA with? What could we help the city with? We don't really even know. So there's going to have to be multiple meetings to find what do you guys want to see with that money?
I just want to make it subject to the agreeable contract to both sides.
Great.
So
Okay.
rather than a workshop, her bringing forward that agreement that we're going to mold and make together.
Yes.
What you're saying.
I'll add that to the motion, yeah.
Okay, so are you adding that to the motion?
Yes, sir.
Do you still wish to second it?
Yes.
Okay, so we still have a second. Is there anything else on this?
So the motion is to go ahead and grant her the 30,000
Pending.
pending on. what was
Workshop.
the-
Pending an agreeable contract.
Printing a contract between both sides.
And the contract's going to come.
So
with-
in the
with the-
contract, we'll have benchmarks and we'll have, something that's gonna protect us in case, God forbid, this fail.
Absolutely.
Benchmarks are
I like
great.
benchmarks.
And so the city really doesn't have any kind of say in anything, we're just gonna go ahead and.
We would be
Pending
approving the
pending
contract.
You have to approve the contract.
Obviously, if you're giving money, you have something to say about it. If you're giving money, we want to have something to say about it, and that's what the contract's for.
Okay.
And I've always said that the state auditor general has recommended that we have contracts in order to make sure that the donation to the 501c3 is, being used in the manner which it was intended.
Absolutely.
Okay. Everybody clear?
Yes.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire?
Yes.
Councilmember Mercure?
No.
Councilmember Taylor?
No.
Deputy Mayor Bernard?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson?
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Item number 23, this will be the RFP 25-06. We've already done 22. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. You may recall that
Keep
we
down out there.
advertised an RFP for strategic plan consulting services. I do apologize. I didn't have the prices on here. I will read those for the record. Stonehenge was $40,000. Mondura was $48,000. Baker Tilly was $48,975. Levy was $49,500. Motivate was $50,000 and USF was $53,688. The proposals were scored by the utility analyst, myself, and the CRA manager. The highest score was for Levy Consulting at $49,500.
Okay, questions?
Say the price one more time. Sorry.
$49,500.
Questions?
I think we need a consulting, that's for sure.
Okay, anyone wish to make a motion?
I want to say something first. I think out of an abundance for caution, I think maybe we should wait till this investigation is over with Gilchrist. Because depending on the outcome of the investigation, I feel we need to save money for any kind of financial contingency plan for what the county may or may not, or what the investigation may or may not be. So if
Disagree.
maybe I'll make that motion to table it until after that, which is only in October.
Okay.
Dr. Kelly, can we wait till October if it passes?
If what passes?
If we table this today
Yes, you can
Okay.
certainly table it until October.
and the prices will still be,
Well, I'd have to reach back out to them to see if their prices would still remain.
okay.
So is that a motion? Is there a second to that motion?
Say.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any questions?
I think it's ridiculous to postpone all the city business. But
It's another delay in the city moving forward.
All right, so we have
Buddy before.
a motion and a second. We're gonna call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire?
no.
Councilmember Mercure?
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard?
No,
Mayor Anderson?
No.
Motion fails.
Is there another motion?
I make a motion that we approve the Levy Consulting LLC based on the scores from city staff of 49,500.
second,
We have a motion, we have a second. Any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire?
Yes.
Councilmember Mercure?
Nope. No.
Councilmember Taylor?
No.
Deputy Mayor Bernard?
yes,
Mayor Anderson?
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Item number 24, this will be resolution number 2025-11.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Avon Park, Florida, is designating the city manager as the administrative authority responsible for final plat and replat approvals in compliance with Florida law, allowing for designee to act in city manager's behalf, addressing commencement of new subdivision standards and city code amendments as soon as reasonably possible to ensure legal compliance, providing for an effective date. Recent bill passed, no time to get the code changed to address it, but it requires that you have administrative approval of final plats. And so that's what this resolution does, is it designates the city manager as such.
Okay, any questions?
No.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-11.
second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Last call for questions. Seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire?
Yes.
Councilmember Mercure?
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard?
yes,
Mayor Anderson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, item number 25, this will be the Avon Park Housing Authority Board appointments.
Yes, sir. We have two vacancies on the Avon Park Housing Authority Board. The vacancies include Carmelo Pinheiro and Felita Knighton. Both occurred in June. We have two applicants available and willing to serve. Both have submitted the required documentation. We did omit the hold harmless indemnification for privacy concerns. Therefore, we are asking that both be appointed to the Avon Park Housing Authority Board.
Okay, motion to approve both applicants. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilmember McGuire?
Yes.
Councilmember Mercure?
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bernard?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any updates from the city manager?
I just want to remind everybody that the CRA meeting is tomorrow night at the airport, starting at 6:00
Where's that at?
at the airport.
All right, we got two signups for public participation. Mr. Warren West.
Warren, 637 Cornell Street. So I'm just on a line that I've been reappointed to the pension board. I am the fifth at large. We have two members, board and department members. I am by the four members. All right. You're on the board 2003. And I was a bargaining member. The guys are elected. And at one point, one of our fifth member got off the board. Mr. Mark got off the board and the member. So member at large and elected person on the pension board. So I've been on that board, like I said, since 2003. That's the meeting and all that time. I'm also on the board of directors for a Florida organization called Public Pension Trustees Organization. We are an organization that a board, which pension boards can be from 9 members to 5 members. All right. So we have an intermediate program, a beginner program, an advanced program, and then we have CEUs. And I've been elected to that board as the board of directors, and I'm on my third term, which I just got elected in June. So I just wanted to come and say, introduce myself because I heard someone didn't know who I was. And so that's it. That's all I wanted.
Hey, Warren, how's it going?
Doing good. Doing good.
Warren, are you also an instructor?
I'm a proctor in the intermediate. That's right. I also do some speaking and training. So on the pension board.
Thanks,
So
sir.
it is a passion because what? I get my pension check every month.
All righty. Thank you, Warren. Next up, Ms. Camel Long.
Good evening, Kamala Long, Park Chamber of Commerce, 28 East Main Street. At the recent budget meeting on Saturday, Ms. Taylor asked about the Christmas decor. So I'm here to talk about Christmas decor a little bit. We, as a group of interested individuals, requested to be on the August 11th agenda to present a proposal for lighted arches or lit arches, however you want to say that. Last year, the same group, we requested banners, and those were a great addition to our Main Street for our Christmas parade. And we also thought it looked really cool. We also met with several service organizations under the planning of a Christmas in July event. And at that time, as a group, we decided on moving forward to obtain a 20-foot Christmas tree. So you have in front of you the tree. It is ordered 20 feet. So really excited about it. My ask of you is, where do we put it? So there are 4 sections of the mall that we would like to entertain putting up this community Christmas tree and have an event, with hot chocolate and cookies and do all the cool things. And we'd like to do that in November. Obviously, an application for an event would be submitted, but our goal is really to take as many businesses and organizations to participate in bringing this Christmas tree, community Christmas tree event, lighting of the tree to Avon Park. So our ask is, for permission to put it on the mall, and, we could decide where in the future. So,
I don't have a problem with it.
It'll be awesome.
I do too.
well, it's been ordered, so now we're gonna have to start collecting the money.
Some of your positions basically west of the tracks.
So we've got one spot in front of Community Center, and got one spot that we looked at in front of City Hall. Another spot in front of Bill Owens. So we're looking for open spaces where it's not interrupted trees. We do have a lot of trees.
Yeah,
Figure out how to hold this mic. I'm so sorry.
the spot in front of City Hall would be my pick.
I recognize that would be your favorite, yes, and Dr. Kelly's as well. Again, I just would like to say that I have, the Chamber of Commerce has been a passion project for me for the last 2 years. I came to Avon Park to retire and plant a garden. That hasn't happened. Hopefully we're having a
You're planting 20-foot trees.
I know, right? Community garden, that's the point. But again, I just want to say that this town, this is an amazing gem in Highlands County, and I am proud to be a transplant in Avon Park. And it is a ministry, it is a mission. It's not about money, it's about moving things forward. And I think it is a calling to be in this position. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity to work together as a team, everyone. The support has been amazing for the chamber, and so we are grateful.
Hear, hear, and God bless you.
Yes,
Thank
thank you for what you do.
Sure.
For this,
Sure.
the ornaments that you're gonna get are they included with that? Or you're gonna have somebody do the ornaments?
Everything has been ordered. So we've got a tree topper that's lit. We've got gold and red ornaments.
Okay.
Yep. And we're also looking at a base, and I'm also including in our budget a pantomime. So a production company that will come out and do the nativity pantomime. So it'll be a really cool sort of Hallmark event.
That'd be nice.
This is an artificial tree.
Yes, ma'am. So it's year after year. Yes, and it's an initial investment, but it will be a tree that we have year after year. And that is also part of, the storage. We are hoping to engage the city for help with that, and the city workers, to help us with getting it put up and things like that. We will get training. The company does provide help for setting it up and how to store it and all that.
Okay, great. Very good.
Have we ever in all the years had a tree in the lake, set up in the lake?
Yeah, we used to have it was just lights. I don't think it was actual tree. But there was like a barge. I can't remember who.
Barge, yeah.
I can't remember who used to put it out there.
I don't either.
The goal is to have it like at least 2 weeks before the parade, so it will be in the median. Okay. All
Very good.
right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tom.
All right. Is there anything else for the good of the city?
No, sir.
Seeing no, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, please.
Seeing no opposition, we are